guys, welcome to my newest video for today. For today's video I'm going to be talking about some of the movies I'm anticipating in 2019, and I've come up with 19 movies that I'm really looking forward to. Now some of these might actually cross over into 2020 here in Australia, but for the most part these are the movies that I'm pretty sure are coming out in 2019, and they're the ones that as I said, I'm really looking forward to. And yeah, I'm just going to get straight into it and sort of have my list here. But before I begin, I do have a few honourable mentions because I actually had a hard time coming up with 19 movies, because there's actually quite a few films coming out next year that I am actually looking forward to. And the first two are Captain Marvel and Spider-Man Far From Home, because I only have one MCU film on this list, but I just thought at this point it's sort of a given that I am anticipating like all the Marvel movie releases. But yeah, I just sort of wanted to make a mention that I am anticipating Captain Marvel and Spider-Man Far From Home. And also, along similar vein, there's a lot of Disney films coming out next year that I'm looking forward to, and again, they didn't all quite, I couldn't quite fit them all on this list, but the one that didn't make the cut was Frozen 2, but I am still, again, I loved the first Frozen, and yeah, really looking forward to seeing a sequel. But I just thought to cut down the list so it was 19 films. Some of them didn't quite make it on here, but yeah, so I'm just going to get straight into it. And starting at number 19, I have Cats. Now, you might be surprised that this one is so low on this list, and I could have easily swapped it out for one of the honourable mentions that I just talked about. But the thing is, I love Cats. It's one of my favourite musicals, and it's been directed by the same director who did Les Mis, which was one of my favourite movies in recent years. And I sort of want to give it the benefit of the doubt, even though I'm sort of on the fence about it. I mean, I don't have an issue with the cast that's been announced for it or anything like that, but I just think Cats is sort of one of those ones where it could probably be very easy to go wrong. So I am anticipating it, but I've sort of lowered, like I've got lower expectations for it, I guess. But I love Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals, and as I said, I love Cats, but that's sort of the reason it's at number 19 on my list. So that, and then at number 18 I have Little Women. The main reason I've got this one here is mostly because of the cast, because it's yeah, got a really good cast, and also because Emma Watson is in it as well, and I will pretty much see anything that Emma Watson is in. She's one of my favourite actresses. But yeah, I'm always like looking forward to seeing like a new adaptation of Little Women. I haven't actually read the book. I've read part of the book, but I haven't read the second half because I didn't realise my copy was only the first half of the book. So I mean, I know how it ends and everything, but I haven't read like the second half of it. So I may try and correct that, but by the time Little Women comes out. But yeah, and I've seen the 94 remake as well, which I quite like that adaptation, but it's been a number of years since I've seen it. So, but I am looking forward to the newest version of Little Women coming out next year. Then at number 17 I have Men in Black International. Now I love the Men in Black trilogy with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, but I'm also really excited to see in what direction they take the Men in Black franchise. And like I like both Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, so I'm really excited to sort of see yeah, a new, like, I guess, spin-off from it. And then at number 16 I have Joker. Now this wasn't initially on my radar, but then the more I sort of started thinking about it, and then I was like, you know what, actually seeing a Joker origin film by Martin Scorsese actually could be quite interesting. So I've sort of got it on here, so I thought it might be worth, it's actually sort of one, like, the more that I'm thinking about it, the more I'm looking forward to seeing how that one pans out. And at number 15 I have Dark Phoenix, which hopefully this comes out at next year, because it's been pushed back that many times, and I think it's currently slated for June, so hopefully this one, it actually sticks to that date, because I actually liked X-Men Apocalypse. I know a lot of people weren't that big of a fan of it, but I was always looking forward to more films from the new X-Men cast, and yeah, I'm also curious to see how they adapt the Dark Phoenix storyline, because I don't really know too much about it, only what was in X-Men The Last Stand, and I know a lot of people don't really care for that film, but yeah, I just thought it would be sort of interesting to see like a new take on it, and sort of like especially being set in the 90s, so yeah, so that's Dark Phoenix. Number 14 is something I wouldn't have thought would be on an anticipated films list, but that is the sequel to Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. This film really surprised me when I saw it at the start of the year, and it's pretty much when they announced that there would be a sequel and the main adult cast would be back for it, I was like, yeah, I'm totally there, because I had a lot of fun with Welcome to the Jungle, and yeah, even though I love the 90s Jumanji with Robin Williams, I was very pleasantly surprised by, I guess, the sequel slash reboot to the film, but yeah, so I've got Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, the sequel. Then at number 13 I have Ad Astra, which I think was meant to come out earlier in next year, but it's, I think, coming out the same, well actually 13 and 12 are both coming out on the same day, and that is, well, I'll talk about yeah, Ad Astra first, which is a new, I guess it's like a sci-fi epic. It's probably the best way to describe it based on my understanding of it. It's like a journey through the solar system, and yeah, I'm basically down for anything that involves space travel. Now, I wasn't actually a big fan of the director's previous film, The Lost City of Z, but I know I'm in the minority with that one. I just, yeah, didn't really care for that film, but this one sounds quite promising, and yeah, as I said, I love space travel, and it's a sci-fi film, so this one I'm, yeah, definitely more interested in. So that, and then the other film that was coming out on the same day is Aladdin. Again, this one I wasn't really anticipating, because, you know, I love the animated version of it, and sort of, obviously with all these live action remakes that are coming out, you're sort of getting to a point where you're like how many more can you do? And then it's, again, like, I suppose for a film such as Aladdin, it's sort of one that didn't really interest me that much, but then I saw the teaser trailer, and that actually sort of reignited, like, I was like, oh, actually this could be done, like, this could actually be really good if it's, you know, done well in that, and I'm actually quite intrigued by it now. So yeah, my interest in it went way up as soon as I saw the teaser trailer, so which I wasn't expecting at all, but anyway, that's sort of yeah, why Aladdin actually got a bit further up on the list than what I was expecting it to. Then at number 11 I have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is Quentin Tarantino's newest film. I've really enjoyed his last two films, especially The Hateful Eight. I really loved that movie, so I thought this one should, to do with the like the Manson murders, I think this one could be really well done as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing like his take on it and how it goes. So it's got yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then at number, sort of getting into my top 10, a film that I wasn't expecting to be so far up this list, but I saw the trailer for it and I thought, actually, that looks like it could be so much fun, and my interest again went way up in it, and that was Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Now, when they said there was going to be like a live action Pikachu film with Ryan Reynolds, I was like, how are they going to pull that off? And then I watched the trailer like when that came out, and I was like, actually, I'm really intrigued now, so, because I was a big fan of Pokemon back in the heyday of it, and Pikachu is my favourite, like, Pokemon, and, yeah, basically, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they, managed to pull this off. So, it's at number 10. Then at number 9, I have Jojo Rabbit. Now, this is, Taika Waititi, I think that's how you say his name. It's his newest film, and basically I've loved every single film that he's done. Like, they've all been like 4.5 out of 5 stars, 5 out of 5 stars. I've just loved them, and so basically any project he's attached to direct next, I'm going to be there for. So he's basically a director, like, whose films I'll see based on the fact that he's directing them, and Jojo Rabbit's one of them. I don't know too much about this one. I think it's a World War II film, but beyond that I don't really know too much else. But yeah, I'm just excited to see what he does next. So I've got that here, and then I've got a number 8, Godzilla King of Monsters. Basically, main reason I'm really anticipating this one is the trailer looked really cool, and I actually liked the 2014 Godzilla film, so always like I'm looking forward to seeing how they do more I guess Godzilla films. Even though I don't know if this one's necessarily an actual sequel to it, or if it's like its own thing, but yeah, I'm just really looking forward to seeing how they do this, because I think there's like going to be quite a few different monsters in it. So, and it's like I think it's a post-apocalyptic or close to being post-apocalyptic, but yeah, just based on the trailer it looks really cool. So so yeah, so I've got Godzilla King of Monsters. Then at number 7 I have the Lego Movie 2, the second part. I was very pleasantly surprised by the Lego Movie, which I'm sure like a lot of people were back in 2014, and I really also enjoyed the Lego Batman movie. Probably the one that sort of didn't live up, like I didn't enjoy as much as those two, was the Lego Ninjago movie, but that was kind of its own thing anyway, because it's based on its own TV show. I didn't enjoy that one nearly as much as those two, but I love the Lego movie, love the Lego Batman movie, so I'm looking forward to seeing more from this world, and so looking forward to the sequel to the Lego movie. So that, and then I've got John Wick 3, which I think is called Parabellum. I didn't write down the subtitle, like the full title in here, but this is the 3rd film in the John Wick series, and basically I love the John Wick films. I think they're great action films, and based on the ending to the 2nd film, I was like, oh, I definitely want part 3, and I like chapter 3, so yeah, definitely interested to see where that story goes based on the ending. Now moving into my top 5, I have Toy Story 4 at number 5. Again, basically with this one I was sort of like, because I thought like many people, Toy Story 3 finished off on like it was a perfect wrap to that trilogy of films, like with the first 3 Toy Story films, and when they announced there was going to be a 4th one, I was sort of on the fence about it, but sort of like the more I sort of think about it, the more I realise I am actually excited to see what else they do with these characters and this world. And I love Toy Story, and I think basically like I think this one, because I suppose it's going to be doing its own thing, and like it doesn't necessarily rely on the first 3 films. I think it could be quite interesting to see what they do with the story and the characters. So I am quite anticipating Toy Story 4. And then at number 4 I have a film that again I wasn't anticipating at all, and then again I saw the trailer for it, and it was kind of like, this film looks like so much fun. Because when I initially read the premise I thought, oh, I'm not interested in seeing it, like it was a superhero film, and I was just like, meh, I don't really like have much interest in it. And then I saw the Comic-Con trailer for it, and my interest was like, it jumped like pretty much into one of my most anticipated films of next year, and that is Shazam. I know absolutely nothing about this character other than based on the trailer for this film, but it just seems like it could be like such a fun superhero film, and I'm basically here for it. So number 4 is Shazam. Then number 3, again, speaking of live action remakes, I have The Lion King. Now this one, again, sort of, The Lion King is my all-time favourite Disney film. It's one of my favourite, like, musicals. I've seen the stage show 3 times while it's been in Sydney. I love it that much, and this is the one that I'm sort of, like, a bit nervous about with how they do, like, the live action, because I think it's what is it called, like photorealism or something like that. It's sort of, it's not obviously quite live action, because with the, animals and that, but I'm really intrigued to see how they can pull off a live action, or the thing with The Lion King, because as I said, it's my favourite Disney animated film, and it's the one I'm most nervous about in terms of the remakes and that, but I'm still really anticipating it. It's sort of like anything for The Lion King, so I'm sort of, that's why it's sort of higher up on my list than like maybe I would have had it on here, but I love anything to do with The Lion King, so I'm curious to see how they managed to pull this off. And then at number 2, I have Star Wars Episode 9. Now, any other year, a Star Wars film would have been in like my number 1 most anticipated film of that year. It's not because I didn't like The Last Jedi. I loved The Last Jedi. I'm one of the people who actually did love that film. It's because you'll probably see in a second which is my number 1, and it's sort of, there's a lot of like anticipated sequels coming out next year, and I was like, oh, which one am I most anticipating? And I always knew what film was going to be my most anticipated based on the ending, and if you probably have already guessed based on saying I've only got 1 MCU film on this list, but I do have Star Wars Episode 9 at number 2, because I am anticipating it still. I still love the Star Wars films and anything to do with Star Wars, so I've got that at number 2. And then at number 1 I have Avengers Endgame, which is probably no surprise. I'm a big MCU fangirl. I love the movies. I loved Infinity War, as devastating as that was, and I can't wait for Endgame to see how it finishes, and the trailer looks so awesome, and it's gonna it's my most anticipated movie of next year. It's like, I'm extremely excited for this film. It's just sort of like the journey with all the Marvel films and getting to this point, and I'm here for it basically. So that is my 19 most anticipated films of 2019. So hopefully you weren't too bored with me just rambling about some of the films that I'm anticipating for next year, but I just thought it would be sort of a fun way to talk about what I'm looking forward to in 2019, and like I'm having trouble just doing a top 10, as you can see, so I thought I'm going to talk about 19 films that are coming out next year. So that is it. I'm just going to stop it here. So thank you guys for watching, and until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye.